Hello, this is Andrew from Trend Following Mentor, and today what I want to talk about is about investing in times of a crisis. When we're trend followers, no one ever tells us when a trend really begins. We don't know. All we really try to do is take low-risk bets. Before I really go further, I just want to make sure that we have the proper disclosures, that past performance is not indicative of future performance. And let me even just say this bluntly. Trend following trading is really not that easy. I'm going to talk about some issues today that will demonstrate investing in a crisis. I've been trading since 1994. I've seen all kinds of situations. I remember when I first began, I remember there was an interest rate spike in 1994 that many people got wiped out in. There's always something that can happen that is a Six Sigma event that no one rings a bell, that no one is prepared for, and invariably, many times, trend followers benefit. What I'd like to do is just put everything in today's context. I don't know where you live. I can just tell you where I live. It is hot. Very hot. This heat, obviously, if you've even read any paper, is speaking about the crop damage and the droughts. And, that's in the news now. It's probably been in the news the last week or so. Myself and other trend followers who really have a plan, not who just don't have a plan and jump from system to system, have been long the grains prior to this news coming out. I've been long wheat. Not that I knew anything. I didn't know anything. To me, it was one more trade out of hundreds of trades that I just took another small risk, low risk bet where, let me qualify what a low risk bet is. A low risk bet is where I'm risking a small percentage of my account size, hypothetically. Well, actually, let me give you the reality. I run units that are $150,000. I run one of those, and I run two other types of units that are $300,000, where I look at the risk per trade on each one of them. My risk per trade varies between 0.5% up until 1.25%. So on my $300,000 account size, my maximum risk was $1,500. I can have many, many times that trade doesn't work. So I had a trade on wheat. It was a low risk bet. I took it. It worked, or working, because it can turn around at any moment. We don't know what's going to happen. All I do is I set the trade, like I said, any other trade, and then I protect it. I follow it with an indicator that I wrote back in 1998. This is what trend following really is. But let's talk about the crisis a little bit more. What's really fascinating to me is that, okay, after a long period of time, now we're finally in some trades that are starting to work. It's nice. The same thing with the euro dollar. Went short the euro dollar. Not that it's been in the news forever. It's supposed to go to parity. Who knows? Probably not, actually. But before things happen, when you're trading as a trend follower using simple, robust ideas, you have opportunities to jump on board. Going back to farmers, I think it's fascinating, actually. And this is a lot of the work that Jim Rogers talks about. I've never met a farmer. I have close to 1,000 people on LinkedIn all over the world, from Australia to South America to Russia, everywhere, all throughout the States. Never have I met a farmer. And I'll just pose a question to you. Have you ever met a farmer? You have to think how hard farming really is. And then you think it's the basic backbone of the world economy. If food prices go up, which they will now because of the crop damage, that it's going to increase inflation, and it's going to have a spillover. I'll give you an example. I've been already long the wheat, and some of my managers that I invest with have also been long corn, which I'd missed that trade. I just wasn't able to take it. But the other thing, the next issue is, yesterday I went short live cattle. Live cattle possibly is going to get whacked, because what do cows eat? They're fed some kind of a corn product which is going to increase in price, which is going to increase the price of cattle, or there'll be less demand for cattle, or there'll be culling of cattle. Who knows? The whole idea is you take low-risk bets where it's a small percentage of your account size on any trade. And you have to say to yourself, let's see what happens. What is the goal? The goal is to compound money over long, long periods of time. In order to compound money, you need a robust trading plan that's applicable to all markets, all time frames, and then even more importantly, you got to believe in it. You got to follow it. I speak to a lot of traders throughout the day. They get bored with the trade and they exit, or they have a profit and they exit. They don't even have a plan. The key to successful investing, just like making a successful business, you have a business plan. You have a trading plan. You follow the trading plan. This trading plan puts you in the potential or the possibility of being available to fall into trades. Let's say the corns, the wheats, the euro dollars, whatever. Because when you can do that and put on these low-risk bets, and you stand the possibility of compounding money over long periods of time, you create extreme wealth. Not just for you, but for your children. This is what you're doing this for. This is what I'm doing it for. I'll also qualify this. This is not a get-rich-quick. This is probably one of the hardest things you can ever do. The majority of your trades will not work. You're going to take a lot of small losses, but that's okay. It doesn't mean anything because all you need is a couple of trades to offset them. Because there's only 4 possibilities when we're trading. You can have a big loss, which we have stops immediately, and we try. I'm going to say try because anything can happen. Because things can gap up or they can go limit up, get limit down. You try to avoid the big losses. The small losses, the small profits, you know what happens? They cancel out each other. They net each other out. And let's say, on an average, on 100 trades in a year, you might have 3, 4, if you're lucky 5 or 6, that really work. And those really work. And I didn't say make money. You watch my words. They worked. Because you didn't do anything different. You were consistent. That the fact is, this is what made your year. And this is not about, again, get rich quick. This is a marathon. This is compounding your way over decades. Because if you can hit reasonable returns over time, and you have the time to compound. Again, I've been doing this 18 years. I've been doing this since I'm 32. I'm almost 50. I've been able to compound money. So this isn't any pipe dream or anything else. And it's not easy, because a lot of your trades don't work. It's really mentally challenging if you let it be. But reasonable returns, time, compounding money, it equals one thing: wealth. It's doable. I learned everything from a dentist. He wasn't a Harvard graduate or a Wharton graduate or an MBA and a partner of Goldman Sachs or any of this other stuff. He was a guy that was passionate, hungry, dedicated. He believed in his system and his methodology, which is a very simple system, simple and robust. I learned from him what it takes to compound money. And let me say what it really means. Having trade after trade after trade at times not working, and having the fortitude to get back up again and put on that next trade without second guessing yourself. Not quitting, not looking for the new next hot system or the next new hot CTA or hedge fund manager. The idea is you find ideas that fit your personality, that you believe in, trust in, like you trust in God, like I trust in God, and you follow them. And you follow these simple tenets. And they are simple, but they're really hard to do for most people. You stand the possibility of compounding wealth. So investing in, let's say, economic crises, if it's a drought, if it's famine, if it's interest rates, if it's, again, let's say it was the war with Iraq, the first Gulf War, where the price of crude went crazy and then crashed, or gold. You make yourself available for any opportunity. I trade a basket of commodities. And the reason being, I believe that commodities offer me every aspect of my human existence. I wake in the morning, first thing, probably like me, you drink a coffee. I try sometimes, I'm really tired, I'll drink 2 of them. Well, guess what? Coffee is a market. Prices go up and down just like in the stock market. I assume you eat breakfast. Eat some kind of a cereal. I eat cereal every morning. Well, that's wheat or corn. Those are markets. That's what we're talking about, how the price just went up 50-some-odd% in a month. And maybe go up higher, or maybe it'll turn around. We don't know, and we don't care. We don't know the future. You don't have to know the future. But let's continue it. You've eaten your breakfast. You drank your coffee. Get in your car. Guess what? There's all kinds of metals. And you have to put in gasoline. Crude oil is a market. If you remember in 2008, it went to the high $140 range down to the $30 range. Up and down, fortunes were made and lost. I don't know how you pay for your gas. I don't ever walk around with cash. I don't have cash on me. I pull out my credit card. Credit card is interest rates. Interest rates go up and down. Right now, a lot of money's been made in bonds because interest rates have been going down so much. That can change. When you trade a basket of commodities, you make yourself available for anything. That's what I want to do. If it's a stock market, I'm willing to trade the stock market. I do. I don't look to just go for the individual shares. I look at the whole indices. I look at Asia. I look at Europe. I look at the States. I want to buy the strongest. I want to sell the weakest. I invite you to learn more. I had 18 years of experience so far. Humbly, I'll tell you, I made every single mistake possible. From those mistakes, you guys can learn. You can shorten your learning curve. This is what I do. I trade for a living. I manage money. And I teach. Because that teaching is a way of me giving back. And this teaching also reinforces me. When I hear ridiculous things from wannabe traders that I'm trying to teach, like I'm bored in a trade, or it's already made a profit, or they're not following the rules, it reinforces my rules. Because I want to tell you, this is not easy. Trading has to be one of the easiest yet hardest things yet to do. And that's why I was fortunate. I had mentors. They looked at what I did, they critiqued it. This is what I do. I teach one-on-one. It's not rocket science. You're not going to learn the Holy Grail. It doesn't exist. But I'm here to help you. I'm here to stand by you and to grow with you. I greatly appreciate your time. And again, have a plan. It's really an interesting question. Ask yourself if you even have a trading plan. The majority of people don't. And if you don't have a trading plan, you shouldn't even be trading. So have a trading plan. I appreciate your time and look forward to talking to you. Thank you again.